Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Change Talk. I'm your host, Tiffany Jenkins. And if we've never met before, this is just a weekly vlog where I jump on quickly and share some tips, some insights, some thoughts about a number of topics related to behavioral health, self care, leadership, pretty much anything that comes to mind that I feel I'm qualified to talk about. Not quite anything, but I try to do this every Thursday evening at 9, and I try not to keep you too long. Tonight, we are going to talk a little bit about a topic that has been swirling in my head, I'll say, for quite some time, although the idea for actually doing it as a live video just kind of came up earlier this evening. Hey, Kia. Hey, Kersha. As you come in, just, drop a note as we're going through the discussion. Jump right on in. This is very much call and response. Leave your comments in the chat box, or you can even inbox them. You can send them to the Awakening Change page, and we'll be sure to get your comments responded to, or any questions that you might have answered. Tonight we're going to talk about focus, and I think that that's something that we all can relate to in different degrees. I've heard a lot of people since we started the pandemic talk about their focus being lessened. And then you also have some folks who, since the pandemic has started, have gotten much better with getting their focus together and are accomplishing great things. And, you've got some folks at different points in the middle. So what I'm going to kind of speak to tonight is those of us, yes, I'm saying us because I'm lumping myself in that category, who are very passionate about a lot of things and find that sometimes we can get overwhelmed by all of the things we have to do, and it kind of takes us off course. So I want you to think about your computer screen, your desktop or your laptop, and your browser window, right? I'm one of those folks who at any given time, if you look on my laptop, I've got probably no less than about 8 windows open all at one time. And it's the same thing on my phone. If I'm browsing on my phone, I may have been shopping in one window. I may have been doing some research about something in another window. I might have my schedule open in another window, and on and on and on, right? But if we think about just the computer or our phone, the more of those windows or those tabs that we have open, the more we're taking from our computer's ability to operate, right? Kia said guilty. I'm so glad I'm not alone. It's pulling from the computer's operating capacity, right? And so it's taking so much more to pull up that next window because you've got all of these other windows going on in the background. Same thing with your phone. If you've got all of these apps that are open at one time, your phone is going to run so much slower. Well, your brain is kind of your computer for your body. And the more things that you've got open all at one time, the more tasks that you're trying to accomplish all at one time, the more energy it takes and the less effective you end up being. I was just talking to someone a little bit earlier about some of the ways and some of the reasons that manifests. And one of those is, maybe you're not a computer multitasker, but you're someone who, you sit down to do one thing. When we were talking in conversation, she was saying, she sat down to work on something on the computer and realized, wait, I need a pen because I need to take some notes. And when she got up to go get the pen to take some notes, she saw something laying there that needed to be put away in the closet. And then she went to put that into the closet and then started rearranging some things in there. And then was like, wait a minute, I got to do this stuff on the computer, and had gotten all off track because there were so many tabs kind of mentally open. And the problem with that is we start splitting ourselves in our energy for whatever reason. As women in particular, I think it comes from that whole nurturer and caretaker vibe that a lot of us have, and taking care of so many different responsibilities and wearing so many hats and doing so many things all at once, that we're pulling ourselves in a million different directions, and that means that nothing is really getting done well. And for me, I had to sit back and evaluate that. What I try to do is every quarter, I try to look at, what goals I've set. Did I accomplish those goals? Where I need to tweak everything. And March is the end of the first quarter. So I try to do it kind of the beginning of March. Sometimes it doesn't quite happen that way. And so when I sat down and looked at it, I had so many open items on my to-do list. Like, it was a little embarrassing because, I'm the therapist. I talk about self-care. I got to have all this stuff together, right? Therapists are human first. And so in having a conversation with my husband, he said, you're doing too much. You're putting way more on your plate than you have the time for. And of course, in typical type A fashion, I was like, no, I can handle it. I just got to move this over here and I got to do this. And then I got to, make this work over here or whatever. But then I started realizing I was doing to my brain what I do to my computer nearly every day. I had all these tabs open. I had all of these unfinished items because I couldn't really focus on any one thing to do it well. And so I came across I'm really big on trying to find quotes or affirmations that I put in my workspace when I'm trying to get myself to kind of get it together in a certain area. And I saw one that really, it kind of hit the nail on the head. And it says, focus equals follow one course until success, right? Follow, I'm going to put that as a banner so that you guys see the way that it was written. Follow one course until success. Focus. That's what focusing is. It is dedicating yourself to that one thing. Pick one thing. The to-do list is probably a million miles long. If you are an entrepreneur, you know that it is very difficult sometimes to really hone in on any one thing because you are everyone. You are the receptionist, you are the shipping and receiving, you are the biller, you are customer service, you are all of those things. And so it gets very easy to get distracted by everything that's going on. If you're a parent, you've got parenting stuff, you've got work stuff, you might have relationship stuff, you've got your own stuff. And so sometimes it all gets kind of jumbled up in there together. But you've got to focus if you're going to really stay the course and be successful. Kersha said yes, especially if you are a solopreneur, which means you are, how did my grandmother used to say, chief cook and bottle washer, like you are everything. It gets a little bit harder. And so what I found has worked for me just in this last couple of weeks is looking at, and it's funny because I say this a lot when I'm helping folks work through their goals, but sometimes just because you say it a lot doesn't mean the light bulb goes off for you. Looking at what's the smallest thing that you can do right now that moves you one step closer to your overall goal. What is it? It may be clearing out your workspace. That might be the one small thing that you can completely focus on that sets the stage for you to take the next right step. We often talk about, when we're talking about goal setting, Kersha said amen. When we talk about goal setting, we often talk about making our goals specific and measurable and time bound and realistic. And sometimes that means that our goals have to be smaller, micro goals. So for me, my goal for this week was simply to clean my desk off. That's it. And I didn't say I'm going to do it all in one day. I started with taking all of the books off of my desk. All of the books that I'm not working with right now, that I'm not using either for my writing or taking notes or whatever, all of that got put away. And that was okay. I could celebrate that small thing, right? Because that was the one course I had to follow. The next thing was taking all of my little notes, all of my little index cards for all of my to-dos, and shredding all of the things that were already done and keeping the ones that are still in progress. That was done. That was my one course. And eventually, by the end of tomorrow, because it's not done yet, because the last task is to get all of my water bottles that I have collected that are behind this screen and put them in the recycling bin. And that'll happen tonight, because for me, recycling goes out tonight. And that was how I have followed one course, have one objective every day that gets me to success. Now, that's a really simple example, right? Clearing off the desk. It's not anything as major as launching a new product or service, or attaining 5 new clients, or doing payroll, or any of those things that, particularly for business owners, and I'm using that because those are some of the things that swirl in my head. It's not that big, but you approach it the same way. You find that one thing. What is that one small step that you can take today that gets you a little bit closer to that goal? And if you break that down into every day, you'd be surprised at how much easier it is for you to get everything done, because you're not splitting the capacity of your brain and your body into so many different pieces, trying to keep everything going all at once. You're focusing on a single thing, and you're putting 100% of your energy into that single thing until you reach success. How much less stressed would we be if we applied that to every area of our lives? How much more productive would we feel if we applied that to every area of our lives? One small thing, just one small thing. You can commit to one small thing. You can't commit to, 10 huge things, but you can commit to one small thing. So you guys we're going to be each other's accountability partners. You're going to focus this week on one small thing every day. You don't eat an elephant all in one gulp. You eat him one bite at a time. Hopefully we're not actually eating elephants, but it's a good metaphor. One bite at a time. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It doesn't have to be a big step. When babies are learning to walk and they just take that one little scoot and they fall, we still celebrate them. We're still excited about the progress that they've made from crawling or rolling or scooting to being upright and walking. So why are we so hard on ourselves? Why do we pile all of this expectation on ourselves? Why do we make it so impossible to achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves? It's not necessary. We're going to get focused. We're going to follow one course, take one small step until we have success. So hopefully that's something that you feel like you can take with you. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the box. And I am going to do my best to make sure that I respond to all of them before I log off. I really do appreciate you guys being here every week with me. Tonight is a small milestone. This is the 20th episode of Change Talk, which is really cool. And I'd like to hear more from you about the topics that you'd like to see discussed here. Like, what do you want to have dialogue and discussion about? Do you think that every week format works for you? Like, I'm open to all kinds of feedback and hearing how I can make this 15 or 20 minutes work best for you. I'm assuming this is resonating because I'm getting the hand claps and the confetti blowers. So I really do appreciate you guys being here. There is so much greatness that is in store. I encourage you all. Thank you. Thank you, Toya. Avis, this 15 or 20 minutes, my first night listening to hand clap for. Thank you, Avis. I'm so glad you could be here. If you want to catch any of the older episodes, you can find them right on the Facebook page, or you can go to the YouTube channel, which is Change Talk Awakening Change LLC. I believe it is. Yes, Change Talk Awakening Change LLC. And feel free to reach out to me at the website, which is www.awakeningchange.org. You can go there and sign up for our mailing list if you're not on it already. In the spring, we'll be dropping some new courses, which I'm very, very excited about. We still have the Between the Couch and the Cross course is open, and the spirituality in African American spirituality and treatment is also open right now. All the details on how you get registered for that are at the website. Also, if you haven't picked up your copy of the anthology, Shut 'Em Down, where I was honored to be a contributing expert, you can pick that up on the website as well. So I think that that's it for all of the comments for tonight. Again, I really do appreciate you guys being with me tonight. And hopefully you will drop some suggestions on some topics you'd like for us to discuss here, that you'd like more information on, whether they're more clinical or just kind of general, commentary about some things. I love this topic and needed it. Thank you. I think we all need it, Kirsch. I think we all need it. March is Women's History Month. So I'm really excited. Thank you. I'm really excited about maybe unpacking some things specific to women's health. I've got some ideas, but I'd love to hear you guys. Visually impaired, do not have a computer at the present. How will I be able to work? How would you be able to work? What do you mean, Avis? Can you give me some clarification on your question? Do you mean for the workshops or just in general? Let's see. Yes. Here we go. Or just in general. Well, I think there's a lot of things that you can do. The workshops are voiced over. You know what? Avis, can you inbox me your email address? Do you have a voice to text for your email? Because if you do, I have a couple of ideas and I'd like to just kind of vet them and then I can get back to you on that. Just shoot me a message in the send me a message in the Facebook group, because that looks like where you're joining me from. guest from Facebook. So shoot me a inbox and just send me your email, and I will see how we can accommodate that. The workshops are voiced over, so you can still hear me talking, and I read a lot of the information that's on there. But let's talk. Let's see what we can do. I think I have someone whose help I might be able to enlist for that. But thank you for asking. That's an area that I hadn't considered, and that's my own, my own bias. That's my, something that I'd like to figure out a solution to. So you got my brain spinning a little bit now. So I appreciate that. But looks like I got all of the information, or all of the questions answered from everybody. Like I said, thank you so much for joining me. If you happen to have gotten in on the conversation a little bit later, or you want to watch the replay, you can do that on the Facebook page or at the YouTube channel, which is Change Talk Awakening Change LLC. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you guys here next week. And until then, please stay safe. Enjoy the warmer weather while it lasts. Be sure to wear your mask, social distance, and all that great stuff. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.